tribe, welcome back to my channel. So whoever is new, welcome. I do also read from abstract, and if you'd like to try it out, I do have videos on my channel where people read for one another, and another one will be coming up throughout the next week. So all the information you're going to find in the videos, and search for a video called Read for One Another. Now, all the other people, thank you for coming back. Thank you, tribe, for uplifting one another, communicating with one another, and I think this is a really good platform to help each other or try to read each other's energies and see what it means. Because I think when I scrolled through your comments, I didn't interrupt. I let you guys communicate with one another. I did see a lot of good energy and a lot of compassion, which truly warms my heart to know that people from across the world can connect on such levels. So one thing that we'll be looking at today will be your blockages when it comes to finances or career, and we'll be looking at ins and outs of why you can't reach that goal, or why can't you get to the level where you want to be. And we'll be digging a little bit deep, so if you want excitement, I don't think that this video will satisfy you. We're going to be using books as well. We might do channeling too. We'll see what comes out, because each pile I usually do differently because it's another story. Now, this might not be for everyone. I think this reading will be for a set amount of people, and it might completely not resonate for someone else. But I'll try to keep it as specific and also as abstract as I can, so that you can pick up at least a little part of a reading for yourself, okay? So we'll be looking at your blockages in finances and career. And as usual, we are using my intuitive deck to choose from. So I'm going to show you the cards from my intuitive deck. So this is for pile number 1. The first intuitive card over here. For pile number 2, we have this intuitive card over here. For pile number 3, we have this intuitive card over here. For pile number 4, we have this intuitive card over here, and I'm gonna show you all cards from above so you can see them all at once. Let me take my phone out of the holder and let's see what we have here. The shadow will be an issue, I think, but let me just go like that. So choose your pile, and I'm gonna see in timestamps. Hello, pile number 1 people. So let's see what's happening with you. I'm gonna shuffle on camera, so pardon the noise. And we'll take a look at the blockages here. Okay, so this is the card that you've chosen from the intuitive deck. Okay, and now we're gonna be also using my book. It's not my book, but I own it. And you know this book, I think, who are regulars here. Let's see, what do you need to hear, or where is a message for pile number 1 when it comes to blockages? I feel like I want that one. There is something in table of contents. Okay, I want to take a look at tarot and see which number is going to be clarified. It's number 5, because we do have a card that comes up to 14. And we'll take a look at table of contents, chapter 5. What do we have there? Pollyanna rides again. Okay, let's take a look at page number 75. And I'm gonna run through quickly. that page, because I feel like there's something not in this page, there's something in another page of this chapter. Okay, got it. We're gonna continue over there. Let's read a bit about it. It says, "What's wrong with trying to see good in everything? Nothing is wrong with it," I asserted. In fact, I added incredulously, "why would anyone resist thinking that way?" And resist we do. Positive thinking is one of the most difficult of all concepts to get across to people. When I present my ideas on positive thinking in my workshops and classes, many of my students respond immediately with, "Oh, that's not realistic." When I question them about what makes negative thinking more realistic, they cannot give me an answer. There is an automatic assumption that negative is realistic and positive is unrealistic. Upon inspection, this is pure madness. It is reported that over 90% of what we worry about never happens. That means that our negative worries have less than 10% chance of being correct. If this is so, isn't being positive more realistic than being negative? Think about your own life. I'll wager that most of what you worry about never happens. So you are being realistic when you worry all the time? No. I truly love this because what it tells me here, it seems like someone might be afraid of speaking about their ideas. Taken from your intuitive card, what you've chosen over here, I can see that some of you may have looked back especially to your childhood or your younger days. Were you ever told that something wasn't realistic, that something wasn't suitable for this world, that it's not the career that you should go for, it's not the approach to a certain career, or it's not the way to make your money because you should follow what seems right or what others tell you how it will come out at the end? So there is an influence here of others, and there's also influence of your own self here. You are afraid to slip. You are afraid to slip. What if I take this step and everything is chaos? So ask yourself, are you afraid to do something or to change things up because of others' reactions, because of others, how they're gonna approach it, how they're going to respond to this failure or any kind of chaos that you might be going through for a certain amount of time to reach your goal? Or that's you in front of your own self who is so judgmental in case failure happens. So let's dig a little bit deeper here and let's see what we can get. Let me have a sip and we'll start. Pile number one. What is the blockage? Pile number one. Oop. Pile number one. What is the blockage? Okay, pile number one. What is the blockage, please? I feel like I won the first card that see, what did I say? Are you afraid of failure? Something, because it came reversed and I felt it. Usually, you know, guys, most of the time I don't take reversals, but I felt it this time. Now, what we have here, the blockage is your own judgment. You might feel that once you do something or once you take a step towards what you want, it might be a little bit overwhelming, or you will not find it as enjoyable in the long run. So an example, someone would be afraid to approach career a certain way or to risk something that involves money because they're thinking that, hey, if I take that step, I do have I am persistent, okay? I am very sure of myself, but it seems like you are unsure of your surroundings. So if you are sure about yourself, you shouldn't worry about surroundings. Now, this is also saying that some of you have a fear of not enjoying it fully once you get it. You might be like, okay, I risked it, or I took this chance, or I've started this, and now I'm not sure if that's something that I really want. But what cards are saying here, that you can have income from two sources, and that's something for you to think about, because having two different ideas or two different income sources would be something I think that will assure you, in case you did not pull through with plan A, you'd have plan B, or at least you wouldn't be in the mindset that you've lost everything. So you're afraid of losing, pile number ones. That's what I'm seeing here. You're afraid of slipping, you're afraid of losing, and that's something that's holding you back from your potential here. Do not compare yourself to other people, pile number one. This is not your path. Your path is different from other paths. It seems like you looked up to someone before. You might have compared yourself to other people, or you still do. For example, at this point of their lives, or at this age, this person has already this and that and that. And what I want is not there yet. And it's like you're blocking your own successes here because of there is some kind of authoritative figure in your life that maybe said something to you, or the way they wear, they set you an example, right? And now you might want to take that example and put yourself on a similar track, or do things similar ways where your path is not the same. And that becomes a blockage in your life. Some of you are afraid of competition. Some of you are afraid of losing. A lot of people here are afraid of losing. And again, we're coming back to what Book said here. How many times you were worried about something, and how many times that worst case scenario actually came true. So truly look back and reflect on that, because there's a lot of hidden fears for pile number one, but that's not something that should be holding you back, pile number one. Whatever has happened in the past, whoever has influenced you in the past, should be left behind, and you need to create your own perception, how you want to do things, and go with it. Don't be afraid of competition. Don't be afraid of others' opinions, because the way you're going to approach your path, it's going to shape you. It's going to make you a stronger person, and it's going to make you realize what it is that's yours and what's not. What should you seek for, pile number one? Okay. What this is saying to me, it's saying go to the unknown, okay? You need to dive into the unknown, this is saying. So is there something that you're not sure about? Try it out, this is saying, okay? Because your happiness lies on the other side of uncertainty here. And what you might notice in the long run, that once you started seeking for that and putting yourself in situations that don't seem very assertive, or you don't see your, let's say, fruit of labor just yet, and you're unsure when it's gonna come, that's when your happiness actually comes in your life. Because once you make that decision that you're okay with that, you'll understand that there are many choices for you out there, only if you stepped out of your comfort zone. See, how I see lovers in this case is, and we have, lovers talk about options, right? And we have Two of Pentacles. Again, juggling, it might talk about a couple of options too, right? So how I see lovers in this case is that how you need to approach this whole situation is to step out of what is already very known for you. So what kind of pattern you were in. And I think you're about to change that up for yourself. So if you grew up in a city, example, right? Try maybe going to a country. It's saying you have to go somewhere, or you have to become someone who's not afraid of exploration. Don't be afraid to explore. These two people come from two different backgrounds, you see, and they still hold in hands. They're like, okay, I grew up in a city and I grew up in a countryside, and we can make it work. So there might be two parts of you, and you might be battling those two sides of you, where one of them is very like motivated and wants to explore and wants to try things and really wants to do the best in your career, and this other part might be fearful. Let's see, your career or your finances will start blooming when? Again, when you won't be afraid of change and arguments and discussions, and showing who you truly are, standing up for yourself. Are you sometimes afraid to show your best side in an argument or discussion, and you maybe want to hide yourself from situations like that? It's saying go out there and give your thoughts to other people, meaning give your thoughts and ideas to other people. This Five of Swords is a little bit different from other decks. If you've noticed, these people are handing their swords in. So these are the ideas, and these are it's like part of people, you know, certain sides of people that they hand in for their boss. That's how I say it, okay? So don't be afraid of showing your true talents, this is saying. Once you do that, once you overcome change, because we have a lot of fives here, if you've noticed, right? So chapter 5, Five of Swords, Five of Wands here. We have a lot of fives here. Your main thing, pile number 1, is not to be afraid of change and disappointment, okay? Once you come out of this, that's when your finances and your career will start blooming. Look, and I'm asking, how would it be in the future for you if you acted certain ways and if you took my advice here? We've got Four of Swords, Two of Wands, let me show you, and Nine of Pentacles. Possibly some of you will probably have your own business, or you will be financially independent somehow. So maybe that's something that you're trying to create, and maybe you're looking up to how other people do things. That's not your path, as I said before. If you don't want to create your own business, I'm just saying you do have very good entrepreneur spirit, and you would be able to be financially independent, and you'd be able to create something of your own. I'm going to clarify the Two of Wands. See, for some of you, what's happening here, once you're financially stable and you're at that point where you want to be right now, okay, I'm not saying the finish line, but I would say halfway. Your mind would be, look, we're going from Five of Swords to Four of Swords. Five of Swords is all about like, okay, well, I'm gonna do arguments and discussions and like there's a lot of chaos, right? And now how you'll be in the future, you're in Four of Swords position where you're just contemplating. Your mind is much calmer, right? And you allow yourself to take a rest. Now, Two of Wands, I've clarified that. It's saying once you will be financially stable, it seems like there's going to be parts in your life where you will be longing for something, and what that tells me, it seems like you will be longing for, it's like someone is looking over a different horizon. So there might be a possibility that you might want to change your place, something about the location, or you might be traveling possibly with your job here. That's what I'm saying. You will be, I think you can never fully satisfy yourself, pile number one, and that can be an issue because you keep wanting more and more. So you gotta understand that there is no finish line. After one goal is completed, there's gonna be another one. And now, how can you set your mindset to such level where you have accomplished something and you allow yourself to pat yourself on the back, or even throw some kind of celebration in order to truly soak everything in, your successes in? Because it seems like here in the future you might even miss the opportunity to celebrate how much you've created, how independent you are. You'll be like, okay, let's look towards a next thing. Okay, what's next for me out there? That page over here, and also the Three of Wands. What's next out there? You know, it's still not enough for me in Two of Wands. So truly understand that this is a journey. It's not about the finished goal, because otherwise you will never stop wanting more and you will never fully feel that you have accomplished everything. Only when you have everything, only when one has everything, that's when they realize that it was never about the end goal. So that's something for some of you to realize, okay? In the future, I'm seeing that you're going to be much more professional. It's like, you know, we're going from this knight to a queen. To a king rather, taken from your energies. You hold a lot of masculine in you, and it seems like you want yourself to be as professional as you can, the best that you can, but you cannot work in a job that is not giving you that drive. And this is saying that's how you're gonna have to go through life. You're gonna have to find something that truly sparks your spirit in order to be music stopped. What's going on? In order to live your best life, because you might battle throughout life assumptions of others, of what you have to search for, what career you have to have, and how your life should be. And the moment when you step into what I want and what makes me happy is when you can create this independence of yours, financial independence. So if some of you have already achieved that, or you have stepped one step forward towards that dream, I truly congratulate you, pile number one. So I hope you have gained insight from this reading. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Hello, pile number two, whoever has chosen this intuitive card here. First off, we'll start with messages from the book, and we'll continue to see what is your blockage and where you could improve yourself. Page 44. Let's get into this. That was very straightforward. It just jumped out. Let me run through this page quickly before I start reading it out. Okay, let's start. It says, what will I do? Again, you can hear the whine and the fear implied in these words. You, like everyone else, have incredible sources of power within that you haven't used before. It would serve you to say to yourself, I know I'll handle it. I have nothing to worry about. Instead of, I've lost my job. What will I do? Try, I've lost my job. I know I'll handle it. And I truly want you to take this paragraph in and apply it to your own life and reflect on it. What I'm picking up quite strongly here, it seems like a lot of you might be thinking about a job in spirituality. Somehow the job that you probably would be very good at has a close relationship to spirituality, whatever it would be. Spirituality is a broad term, right? So I'd like some of you to think about that, because you do have the incredible sources of power within you that you haven't used before. Maybe try things out. Don't be afraid of it. Try things out and you'll see. And now for some of you, I do see a situation where obviously instead, I've lost my job, what will I do? Try saying, I've lost my job, I know I'll handle it. So you do have to be a bit more assertive of how powerful you'll be in the future to overcome any kind of chaotic situations or troubles thrown your way. I'm gonna read out this part too. It's terrible. It's banded around the most inappropriate circumstances. For example, I lost my wallet. Isn't that terrible? That's so terrible about what's so terrible about losing a wallet? It's certainly an inconvenience. It's hardly terrible. I gained 2 pounds. Isn't that terrible? It's hardly terrible to gain 2 pounds. Yet that's the way we talk about trivia in our lives. And our subconscious is registering disaster, disaster, disaster. Replace it's terrible with it's a learning experience. I want to go on. While you might feel more justified in saying it's terrible if a loved one has cancer, keep it in mind that this attitude takes away your power to deal with the situation. There are many who have learned important things from the experience. I know because I am one of those people. My experience of cancer taught me many wonderful things about myself and the people around me. Most important, I learned how much I was loved. I saw a tender side of my fiancé, now my husband, I had never seen before, and our love deepened immeasurably. We stopped taking each other for granted. Also, I have changed my life in many positive ways. I've become a much more aware eater. I've learned how to eliminate the anger, resentment, and stress that was very much a part of my daily life prior to my illness. Now, what I want to talk about for pile number 2s, truly pay attention to how your career or how your job, any kind of job, has influenced your health, because this is very important for pile number 2s. So if you're looking for answers, if you're on the right track when it comes to your career or your finances, what you should be looking out for, answer yourself a question. Does this job influence my health, and how? Because any job does influence our health, right? We give our energy, we sell our energy, right? We do have to fight for certain things, and we do have to compete, etc., etc. But truly, everyday life, everyday tasks, is the money that you get in worth how much energy you give out? If not, ask yourself if your health is worth the money that you get in, and what could you do about it? Because that might lead you to thinking, I need to change some things around. Taken from page 44, it comes up to 8. In this lifetime, you should be seeking for what your soul is happy about and what's your life's work, and put it together. And how you can find it: firstly, understand what's not making you happy and what kind of job influences you in a truly chaotic way, and what kind of jobs wouldn't. And you don't have to find a niche that is like an end goal in order to change some things around. You can start with little things, little changes. The way you approach your career, even if that's your career if that career is a dream for you, how can you take control of your stress? How can you truly say to yourself, okay, today I'm not gonna stress over this and that, and imply it every single day before you go to work? So there are two scenarios that I'm seeing here. One scenario is someone might be possibly, I can't speak, what's up? I'm giving up. Someone take over. One scenario is possibly someone who doesn't really think that this job is making them happy. And it's more than just making them happy. It's more so about that I nearly sell my soul and I come back home drained. And I can't speak for pile number 2, so there's something chaotic about it. And then another part of you guys, we do have those people who could approach their career a bit differently, the way they handle situations, how much stress you allow yourself to take. Because when it comes to our everyday life, we have to allow ourselves to be angry. We allow ourselves to be stressful. It's saying stop allowing other people or situations to interfere with your peace, okay? Okay, let me have a sip of water because this is crazy. Like, I can't speak for pile number 2. Let's see, what's your blockage, pile number 2? What's your blockage? What's your blockage? Yes, you let people take from you, or you let situations take from you. Take something that is precious to you. Make sure that communication is clear, and make sure that you don't give all of yourself, or you don't borrow even money to people who are not worthy of that money, or you don't give your money out for people who are not appreciating it as much as they should. Okay, pile number 2 was the blockage. See, some of you can't see how much power you hold and what kind of abilities that you have over there. You have your back to the third eye, right? And you might be cold towards spirituality. You might be a little bit fearful of what's gonna come out of it. But I would strongly suggest for pile number 2 exploring that part. If that's something that you ever thought of, but you were just like, oh, but damn, I don't know, like, if I would be good at this. What's the blockage, pile number 2? Two sevens here. 2 7s. So pay attention to number 7. Look up the meaning of it, especially when it comes to career. Number 7 is a very lucky number. Bear with me. Yeah, I got it. You guys, some of you are very impatient. You do want results. You need to be certain that whatever it is that you invest yourself in, that is going to reap great rewards. And you might be a little bit impatient when it comes to your career or amount of money that you want to get. And you're like, damn, like, I want to do this and I want to do that. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that will bring me that amount of money that I want. And impatience might be one of the things that you will have to battle with, or being uncertain. And I'm hearing like you are up in the air, but you're not on the ground. So your ideas might be constantly up in the air, or the way you want to make more money, but you never truly ground it. Let's see, what are your blockages? What are your blockages in career or finances? It's funny how I talked about other places, and my Page of Swords in this deck usually refers to travel for me or messages from abroad, and plus we have Eight of Wands, communication that can be overseas, and we have the Sun, and I talked about sunny places. Now what we have for you guys, what's your blockage here? It seems like you might even sometimes be afraid to communicate your ideas. You guys are sabotaging yourself here, for sure. You are someone who is so good at what you do, or whatever the idea or project that you would take over, but you are afraid of your own success. Are you afraid to take some kind of a leap or to make a move of some sorts? Because what I do see here, that it's almost like the Sun is so nice, but I'm afraid that it's going to make me blind. So Sun is one of the happiest cards in the deck. And Sun is beautiful. It's all about joy. It's all about clarity, knowing what you want, which you do. Maybe some of you don't. But you are also afraid that that Sun will blind you and you'll get burnt, or you are not even, sometimes you might feel like you are not worthy of your successes, and that's very subconscious. So even if you're like, oh damn, like I'm so worthy, I know I'm worthy of everything, people don't take certain steps sometimes, which are logical steps to take, because they're afraid of what's on the other side of success and what that success comes with. Let's see. Once you overcome this, pile number 2, your finances and career, please. You're gonna end certain career, or you're gonna end a chapter. You have to end something here, guys. Would it be own sabotage, because it's swords? It's your own ideas, your own mind. You're gonna have to end this first. Oh, walk away from something. Look, guys, it seems like you sometimes overthink so much that you create your own blockages. I do not see many external blockages here apart from your own when it comes to your finances and career. Look, what it is that you've done in order to seek for your 100% potential, this is saying. Because where you're at now, you're not super overly happy. It seems like you wanted to move on from the situation for a certain amount of time, but you were literally afraid of your own success and where this other path might lead you. Obviously, because you didn't know the end goal, and that's what people are afraid of. Like, I don't see the whole picture. How can I take this step? But you don't need to see the whole picture. You have to listen to your gut, and that's something that you'll be doing in the future. And that's where happiness comes through. Sun, that's when that sun will start shining, and you will have this emotional fulfillment. For you guys, it's very important not to chase for certain amount of money, but firstly to come from the heart and to chase for where your happiness lies, what you want to create for yourself. Because after you follow your heart, that's when happiness will follow. And we do see 10 of Cups talks about all the good stuff. So you'll be very happy at where you landed, and that's when the job will start truly, your career will start making progress. But you are more concerned, I feel like, about amount of money, or if I'll go there, will it pay will my struggles pay off? If you'll never take that step, you'll never know. You gotta get yourself out of the situation in order to drink champagne. You don't risk, you don't drink champagne. That's what we're talking about for pile number 2. Because it seems sometimes that you yourself, you don't wanna risk some things or leave some things behind because you don't know how it's gonna be on the other side. And on the other side, we have sun shining. So is that an approach, or is that a new job that we're talking about? Or is that a step that you have to make to start moving? Pile number 2s. So I truly hope that this made sense, and I hope to see you in the future. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. See you later. Hello, pile number 3, whoever has chosen the 3rd intuitive card over here. Let's take a look at your reading. We're also going to be using Susan Jeffers' Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway book. Let's see what we have there for you. Okay. Page 15. There's something for you in page 15. Let's take a look at this. We'll start off reading from the book and we'll go from there. Let me just have a quick glimpse into this page before I start reading it out. You do have blockages, guys, when it comes to your finances or career that might be possibly coming from your family. So take a look at how your mother or how your father handled money, or how they communicated with you when you felt truly happy and at your best. So we'd look at a situation where kid is playing outside, right, in the garden. And a family member would say, enough of fun. And kid is thinking like, why is it enough of fun? Like, why can't I have fun all the time? And that would refer to you setting yourself a boundary when it comes to earning X amount of money, when it comes to being the best at what you do, or it's all about not being afraid to seek more than what was subconsciously told you, if that makes sense. Also, that would be an example of, okay, I can't speak apparently today, guys. I don't know why. It's like my mind is in front of me, like 10 steps ahead, and my mouth can catch up. So that would be an example where, let's say your mother has struggled with money or struggled in her career. Even if she got average salary, it's not that she was poor, but she was really struggling in her career. She was maybe not appreciated enough. She had to fight for herself all the time and fight with her boss or fight with other people to prove herself how truly good she is. That might portray subconsciously to you, because you might find yourself in situations where you take harder paths, more chaotic paths than an easy way out. And I always say, it's fine to take an easy way out if you can, but not all the time. So where we're getting at, that would be, for example, a person who doesn't accept help, who wants everything done by themselves. If they didn't achieve something themselves, they wouldn't feel as appreciated. So that would be that instance of someone who's trying to show their strengths and how well they can do, and to stand up for their bosses or their colleagues because their mother, for example, was struggling with that, and that was the image, the it's like a movie scene I'm seeing that this person has seen. So they like, okay, I don't wanna struggle with this. I don't want a shitty boss, or I don't want a average job. Or there would be another scenario where your dad was very bossy, where he earned everything himself, and he has put that expectation on you to go and achieve, you know. So that would be a woman, for example, who is too much in her masculine and who cannot find love because she's all about, let's do this business, let's make money, let's do that, because she's taken that from her father. So it can work opposite ways. You have to understand, it's a very personal and very sensitive topic. It can work that your parent has left an imprint in you to be how they were, or you might look at a situation and be like, oh, I don't want this, so I'm gonna do everything that I can not to be like that. I feel like I'm talking to 5 different scenarios, so I'm just trying to get my head around of what exactly that one specific situation that we have here. But I have to cover more people because I think otherwise this pile won't be for as many people as I would like it to be. So let's read about this. Let me have a sip. Actually, my mouth is dry. And when I looked at a time when I started pile number 3, it was 0555. Sorry guys, wait, my charger is stuck here. Okay, so I honestly feel like a lot of you have understood this already. I feel like I'm talking to such an advanced pile that you're like, don't tell me all of this, I know all of this. So maybe there are a couple of people who needed to hear that, and the rest of you are like, got it, I know, let's move on. So it says, in all my life, I have never heard a mother call out to her child as he or she goes to school, take a lot of risks today, darling. She is more likely to convey to her child, be careful, darling. This be careful carries with it double message. The world is really dangerous out there and you won't be able to handle it. What mom is really saying, of course, is if something happens to you, I won't be able to handle it. You see, she's only passing on her lack of trust in her ability to handle what comes her way. See what kind of family connection we have here, what was said as an example, what example you want to follow, how you want to be. There is some kind of imprint from the old times. It says, I can remember wanting desperately to have a 2-wheel bicycle and my mother's refusal to buy me one. Her answer to my pleas was always the same. I love you too much. I don't want anything to happen to you. I translated this to mean, you are not competent enough to handle a 2-wheel bike. Having become older and wiser, I realize now that she was really saying, if anything happens to you, I will fall apart. This overprotective mother of mine was once in intensive care after serious surgery, with tubes down her nose and her throat. When I was told it was time for me to leave, I whispered in her ear, not knowing if she could hear me, that I loved her and would be back later. As I was walking toward the door, I heard a small, weak voice behind me saying, you adjust it, be careful. Even if her anesthetic stupor, she was sending me admonitions, I just butchered it, of doom and gloom. And I know she typifies the great percentage of mothers out there, considering how many, be careful, our parents bombarded us with. It is amazing we even managed to walk out of the door. Apart from such seemingly obvious connections, the cause of our fear quite possibly lies elsewhere. But does it really matter where our self-doubts come from? I believe not. It is not my approach to analyze the whys and wherefores of troublesome areas of the mind. It is often possible to figure out what the actual causes of negative patterns are. And even if we did know, the knowing doesn't necessarily change them. I believe that if something is troubling you, simply start from where you are and take the action necessary to change. In case you know that you don't like the fact that lack of trust in yourself is stopping you from getting what you want out of your life. Knowing this creates a very clear, even laser-like focus on what needs to be changed. It makes sense. You don't have to scatter your energy wondering why. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you begin now to develop your trust in yourself until you reach the point where you will be able to say, whatever happens to me, given any situation, I can handle it. There's also the sense to me of pile number 3 that you might have been overprotected by someone in your childhood, or maybe a partner of yours, and you couldn't make your decisions clearly, where you're like, okay, I was constantly in this bubble, so how can I now make my own decisions, and how can I now trust where I'm going? Let's see, what's your blockage pile number 3? Yeah, there's a female coming through very strongly here. And I wouldn't see that Queen of Swords in that way, if not what I was channeling and picking up prior. What did I say? Decisions? Decisions, right? And again, take a look at Temperance, holding 2 things at once, trying to balance things out. Someone is very indecisive here, and it might be your big blockage. You're like, I don't know, I'm so used to knowing it all, or I'm so used to someone advising me on certain matters, where you find yourself in situations where you're like, okay, I don't think I know how to finish this project or task. I don't think I know if that's what I'm doing is truly correct or is the best solution, where you might find yourself doubting and you're like, but damn, like, why can't I be very independent? Why can't I be using my intelligence and my ability to make a decision from my own, using my own intelligence, you know? So it seems like there is this blockage when it comes to making up your mind here. Like, you might be questioning and you might be asking other people what they think, but what you really have to do is to stop yourself and ask yourself what you want to do, and accept help when help is thrown your way. But do not expect people to help you in every single situation, because for some of you, that's coming from your childhood, where you might have been overprotected, and now the world might seem, even when you've grown up, sometimes a little scary, because now you're thrown in situations where you have to be this professional, where you have to be this person who has to come up with decisions. Future. Yeah, decisions. Lovers are about, making a choice. How can I make a choice that's the best for me? Would it be in your career, in general, your everyday tasks, or would it be when deciding which career you want to take on next, or which path you want to take? It's funny because I'm asking about the future, and what I'm getting for the future, it seems like you will meet a person who's gonna hold a lot of feminine, a lot of love, who's gonna somehow be important in your life. I don't know exactly, is that a friend or a family member, but it seems like you are being lucky when it comes to connecting with someone. I think this is going to be someone who will be at the right place and the right time. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, at the right place at the right time, and they're going to clear your mind, to get your doubts disappear. It seems like this is not gonna be someone who will pamper you that much. I'm not getting it intuitively. This is gonna be someone who will be like, listen, you are being offered this and that from universe. Why the fuck you don't take it? Or why are you afraid to take that opportunity? What's holding you back? You don't see how lucky you are in the future. That's what it's saying, okay? So remind yourself that. Pile number 3 is, it seems like you're very much afraid of change, and we all are, I understand. Embrace it. You're afraid that some task or some project or whatever it is that you'll take on, whatever it is that you'll decide to do, will be too heavy to handle for you. And there is again that connection to a certain family member or even a friend that you consider family, who was an example for you in the past. And now you might feel sometimes that you need to call people or you need to reach out when it comes to making decisions, but truly what you need to do is to be that person for yourself. This is saying you are the wise one. You gotta remember that. You do have all that knowledge in those books, so use that for yourself, but use that for other people too. You are supposed to somehow use your own experiences in life in order to come up with a plan of some sort where you want to go career-wise. So whatever the experience is, I'll give you an example. Someone who has gone through, let's say, a lot of codependency when it comes to family issues and has cut cords and healed ancestral lineage, and now they can use that for other people, and they might advise them how such energies work, what they can do, or they might even become mentors or teachers of some sorts. You guys, pile number 3, have to use your own experiences for your own good and somehow portray it to your career. Okay, that's very important. You guys are here. You are born in certain families for a reason, so take those lessons, analyze those people around you, what you can take from each of them. They all hold different knowledge, and I would say that analysis would be really great for you here. Get out of your head, pile number 3. You're all in your head. It seems like, and don't carry other people's problems. Some of you carry other people's problems. That's not something that you have to do. You have to know what energy is yours, what decision is yours, and what decision or opinion is someone else's. Because you gotta find your own star, and you have to go towards it, because once you follow through, that's when you're gonna have something solid waiting for you out there. And bottom of the deck, we have 6 of Pentacles. That's when you're going to have those equal exchanges, collaborations, cooperation, working in a job that pays you for the energy that you put in equally, okay? You're not overworked and you're not overstressed. Even if you are overstressed sometimes, you do get good money for it, because it has to be equal, okay? And it's funny how we're finishing with 6 of Pentacles, because page number 15 comes up to 6. Watch out for number 6. The Lovers here too. Did we have more? I don't think so. So I hope this helped, pile number 3s. A lot of you have gone through this already, so congratulations if you did. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Hello, pile number 3s, whoever has, sorry, 4s, I apologize, whoever has chosen the 4th intuitive card here. We're gonna firstly be looking at messages from your book before we go into tarot. I'm hearing some of you know this all already, and this is a strong pile. I'm getting that straight away. You are little warriors. Let's see. Find the chapter, page, what chapter it is. Okay, page 50 to 71. Look at the title. Okay. 50 to 71. Oh, it's funny because we have a new chapter not too far off. And it starts from page 52. It says, whether you want it or not, it's yours. Maybe that's why I felt that you don't need any guidance much, pile number 4s. You are on the right track. You know what the heck you're doing. Let me go through this quickly and see what I want to read about for you. Let's go. Okay. Do you know how I always like to tell you guys and piss a lot of you off that if you are in a mindset, I do get comments from people sometimes where they say, my life is a mess, I don't know what universe is trying to tell me, why isn't universe universe or God being straightforward, like I hate this. So I like to reply to comments like that, saying once you'll take your life responsibly, that's when you'll see everything happening. And what that means is literally you sitting with yourself and admitting that everything that will happen and has happened until now is your own creation. Once you truly can look at yourself and admit all those things, that, oh damn, I was actually in a pity state, or oh damn, I've created all of this, that's when you'll have a full power over your life and no one can take it away from you. So if you are seeking for something and it's not happening, and if you truly put a lot of work in it and you're like, damn, I don't know why this isn't like happening for me. I am not being promoted, like I'm underappreciated, this and that. Truly pay attention to those things too, because a no or stagnancy is always an answer too. You might not be in a right job, in the right environment, or in the right career. Okay, so take a look at that. There's an answer for everything if you truly look. And some people want clear answers when it comes to their finances, or, hey, tell me what to do, how can I get a certain amount of money? And it happens that when you ask a person what they've done so far, they haven't taken a step that feels uncomfortable for them. So I had to talk about this because I think that's something that might be very relevant. It says, are you a victim or are you taking responsibility for your life? So many of us think we are taking responsibility for our own lives when we simply are not. The victim mentality is very subtle and takes many forms. Once you understand the concepts in this chapter, you will better understand the dynamics of handling fear. The idea of taking responsibility for your own life is probably not totally new to you. For years, you have been bombarded with the message, take responsibility for your own life. But I am convinced that most of us do not really understand what it means. To most of us independent people, it has meant that we should get a job, earn enough money to support ourselves, and not to depend on anyone else for our survival. That may or may not be part of it. I know many dependent people who understand the secret of taking responsibility for their experience of life, but it certainly doesn't hit the heart of the issue, which is much bigger yet more invisible than that. Let's look at a few examples. Edward is an extremely wealthy, high-powered sorry, I can't speak today, guys. I said it to every single pile. Don't know. Executive who lives in a constant state of anxiety. When I suggested that he get some professional help, he responded that if the people in his life would change, that's where we're getting, right? Everything would be fine. If only his wife would be more loving, if only his boss wasn't always leaning on him, and if only his son would stop taking drugs, then he'd be fine. He feels there is no reason for him to get help. It's all their fault. Is he taking responsibility for his experience of life? Absolutely not. Mara is objectively sitting on top of the world. She has a great job, lives in a lovely apartment, has many friends and lovers. Her continual complaint is about her ex-husband. He is making her life miserable. He has always been unfair to her. He never pays child support. Also, her son is turning against her and accusing her of being selfish, and on and on and on. Is she taking responsibility for her experience of life? Absolutely not. I know many single or divorced people who are constantly complaining about their ex-husbands or their ex-wives. Their bosses, their loneliness, the lousy singles scene, and so on. I know many married people who are constantly lamenting about their children, their lack of money, their lack of communication with their spouses, and so on. Are any of them really taking responsibility for their experience of life? Not at all. They are all in some way playing the role of a victim. They have given their power to someone or something else. Keep in mind that when you give away your power, you move further and further to the left side of the pain to power chart. And as a result, you become paralyzed in your attempts to deal with fear. On a more obvious level, if you are in a job you hate, if you are single and you want to be married, if you are in a lousy relationship and want to get out, if your daughter is making you grade before your time, and if generally speaking nothing seems to go the way you want it to go, you are also playing the role of a victim. No wonder you feel fearful. Victims are powerless. The truth is, you really are in control, in total control. And then it goes on. If you want to read this page on yourself, stop it, print screen it, and you can, or take a look at Susan Jeffers' book. Now, that's why I think I've channeled that whole scenario there. Because that one sentence already gave me like a scene of a movie. Truly take responsibility, pile number 4. And I think a lot of you did already. I do see a vision of someone getting up in the morning, sitting on their bed, and that happened constantly every time they had to go to work. And they're like, oh, I just can't be bothered I truly don't want to go, or I just feel like, ugh. And one day they decided that they're gonna get up a little bit earlier, do a little bit of self-care. Would it be drinking coffee not on the way to work or at home, and reading, let's say, even a page from the book of any sorts, and giving yourself that time to truly a little bit live before you start your routine or before you go and do things that you have to do? Or would it be truly taking that step where you're like, damn it, Brigitte, for example, me, you're not earning enough money. What you have after work is the X amount of time that you can use to make money. Now, my only issue would be that will actually answer, am I ready to come out of the victim mindset? Would be how much energy and how tired I am prepared to be to seek for what I want. And a lot of people might give up. They're like, I can't do 2 jobs, or I can't do this, or I can't change a job because of all of that. There's always a way, and there's never no solution to a problem. See what I'm getting here? So pile number 4 is, as long as you remind yourself every single day that you can do whatever the fuck you want, as long as you commit to it, and as long as you are true to yourself, and you are not a victim of your own beliefs, that's when you'll take your life responsibly. And a lot of you have done this already. So let's get into your reading. I'm gonna have a sip, 1 second, and let's move on. What's a blockage, pile number 4? What's a blockage? Wow, that's very deep for some of you. That's, I think, very unrelated. But someone is afraid of their life slipping through their fingers. I don't know why I had to say it, but someone needs to hear that. And it seems like they need to understand that you're the one who's holding this. It's not gonna slip away because you are the one who's balancing it out. See, a mindset of being poor, that's something that, and that's a victim mentality. 5 of Pentacles, we all know about it, right? Because in traditional tarot, what we have here is a person who feels like they don't have this and that and that, and they are lost and they are confused and they are poor and they are very cold. It's out in the winter. They're out in the winter, but they truly have next to them, they have a church that they come into and warm themselves up, but they choose the familiarity. They choose something that they are used to, and they choose that mentality that's keeping them out there stuck in a cold. Okay, so it's time to, it's saying accept help, call around, ask for different, maybe even ask for contacts if you want to change something up. Ask for help from other people if you are super poor and if you don't have money, and start taking responsibility. Why are you feeling cold? Why can't you get into that church? What is it that's clinging on to you? Is that your own mind, or there is something that was implied by your family members? Because that can happen too. This is a poor mindset. It's saying as long as you're going to concentrate on how much you don't have, that's exactly what you're going to exaggerate. Exactly what you're going to exaggerate. Blockages. See, the Queen of Cups in this deck in particular, what I'm seeing, you are afraid probably to concentrate on something because you might spill something else. So what that's talking about for me, that you might be afraid to choose one thing, or to put your mind on something in case something spills or goes wrong. Does that make sense? And that might be keeping you back from your success. You're like, but if I'm gonna take and I'm gonna truly appreciate this cup, but then I'm not gonna be able to concentrate on the other one, and I'm gonna spill what I have inside of it. But ask yourself, do you truly need something that is inside of that other cup? What is more fulfilling for you? See, you guys, you have very high standards for yourself, and this is partly a blockage. With the 6 of Wands, what you do want in this lifetime, you want to be seen, you want to be visible, you want to be someone who is a winner in other people's eyes. And that can be a blockage, because in order to be that person, you might set yourself very long-term goals that might take you time, and you're not sure if you're gonna get there at the end of the day. And a lot of the times when we set a goal and it would take us around 5 times to get there, what we truly forget is growth. Because if the person who has the same goal throughout these 5 years, they still stick to the same goal and they're like, okay, that's something that I want, and they do not allow themselves to pay attention to anything else that's around them at that time, it seems that this person is not growing as much. So for example, if I'm gonna have, okay, let's take my life example, F it, so I was working so hard on getting a degree in architecture, so I've been in a couple of education institutions, right, in a couple of countries. So I've spent this amount of money and this amount of time studying it, but then if I did concentrate only on becoming this great architect or this even average architect, let's say, and if I didn't look around what the universe and God was telling me, even my own body was telling me what was actually right for me, I would never be able to sit here and talk to you right now, and I would never have met these amazing people that are part of my tribe, and I would never have been able to work from home and travel, and that was something that was always my dream. And architecture, you see, wouldn't have let me do that. There are ways to do it, but not traditionally, if that makes sense. So if I didn't allow other things to come in the picture, I wouldn't have gotten to the place I am now. So that's why I'm saying, think about that end goal. And if you, that can be different for some of you. For example, you do want a beautiful home. But over time, you're gonna find yourself that you're gonna have to compromise to the place, the price, all of the things, and you might not be able to be that person who has the most amazing home because you're gonna have to adapt. And there might be things thrown your way where you're like, hey, oh, now I have a partner who's from a different state or a different city or country even. How the heck I'm gonna build a house that I wanted in this specific location? See where I'm trying to get here? It's saying do not reach for dreams that are very far away in the future. Live now. Raise one cup up. Concentrate on that one cup that you have. Make the best out of it, but have your eyes open to everything that's being thrown your way. Some of you might be distracted by other things happening, and those things are not the best for you, because I do have a vision where someone here in particular is concentrated on being this best self, right? This being very influential for other people, which is great. Being maybe a leader, a teacher, a boss, whatever it is for you guys here, or earning a certain amount of money, where you might find yourself that you might be thrown off track when it comes to your personal life. You're like, okay, I want this, I want to become best at this, or I want this money. But then someone steps into your life and you're like, oh, damn, you know, I might put my priorities on a back burner, or I might put my dreams on hold. So there are two different scenarios that we have here. One is where someone is such a perfectionist, they want everything to happen a certain way in their life, and they do not allow the opportunities to come in that possibly would take them even a better way. And we have another scenario where someone is overly focused on, let's say, love, and that can get in their way. It's good if that love is real, right? But sometimes we get thrown connections that are not always the best, and it might throw you off track. For some others of you, there are three scenarios actually. For some others of you, you might not get that money or that career that you want. I would say that financial security here, because you might be too much in one energy of yours. So that can be for example, someone who's very much into their masculine, and they're like, okay, let's go, let's do this, let's go, let's do this. Once they come out of that victim mentality, right? But then they don't pay attention to their love life. And believe me, that sometimes happens where if we don't pay attention to our relationships, any relationships in life, if we completely neglect it and we fully focus only on the career, let's do this, okay? I'm getting Capricorn vibes. Let's do this, I'm gonna achieve this. That's when they might struggle, get into the point where they want to get, because universe or God is telling them, but hey, come together with this person, or hey, have better relationship with this person. because that's something that is a bit like it's holding you back. You can become this best at what it is that you want to do, but you have to have balance. That's why we have temperance here, with both aspects of your life, relationship and career. So make sure you give as much energy and time into what it is that you want career-wise, as well as you do give for your relationships with even family members, friends, and all of those things. You gotta socialize, even if you're trying to achieve your CEO status. You see what I'm getting at? You gotta socialize, you gotta love, you gotta enjoy, you gotta come together. The human impact is strong here. The community impact is strong here. You gotta be part of the community here, because it's gonna give you a lot. Pile number 4 is that deep. Your successes. Let's take a look at your successes. Okay, that includes you moving somewhere or traveling, I'm seeing. So when it comes to your successful finances or career, whoa, 2 planes. You might have to go somewhere. Would it be a different place? Would it be a different, let's say, branch when it comes to work? Would it be a different approach? But whatever you do in the future, it seems like you're going to have a completely different approach. You have judgment after 5 of Pentacles. I'm really, really proud of you here. You're like, I'm coming out of that. I am the pilot of my own dreams. In a couple of piles here. I'm listening to what my gut is telling me and where I have to be. You do have a very fulfilling future here when it comes to your career. But it seems like because you have approached it from a more lighthearted side, and everything will start flowing for you naturally. So don't over pressure yourself. And I keep looking at these connections. You gotta connect with someone. Would it be a collaboration? Would it be your own partner more? Okay, in order to allow those blockages to disappear when it comes to your career. This is saying it's not healthy to concentrate only on one. So how can you make it balanced for yourself? What did I say? Collaboration, some kind of partnership. You're gonna partner up with someone here in the future. And it's funny how I talked about my, giving you an example about the architecture and, and what I do now, because we have 3 of Pentacles. And if you know tarot, these are people who are building the church. So one is the architect, one is the commissioner, one is who's the other one? A builder? Yeah, I think a builder. Okay, future. What do we have in the future? Look how energies change in your future, pile number 4s. From the victim mindset to a Queen of Pentacles. And my Queen of Pentacles in this deck is a bitch who knows what she deserves, and she's got it. That's why she's so proud. Look at her. She's like, I know I got it. I know I got those pentacles. Look at my home. Like, the staircase is probably brilliant. So there's a very big change to how you might have been in the past, and how you will be in the future, pile number 4s. I congratulate you. I hope it made sense, because I was picking up different people's scenarios here, and I tried to give you as clear message as possible, but I bet I've probably confused some people here. I can't speak again. So if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.